What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM. It's lunchtime. It's 12 noon here at Site B on this foggy May 24th, 2023. I'm joined by Steve, who is sitting on the table with me, nosing about in my stuff because that's what cats do. And we are continuing to go through the Dungeons & Dragons information dump that was made available to us yesterday from the genius that is Jeremy Crawford. Wizards of the Coast held a press conference where they dumped out a lot of information for us to try and sift through. So much information that it is 12 noon. Some people have had this information since 9 o'clock last night, and we're still going through it. We're still trying to make sense of it. We're still trying to find the facts. And I'm not the only one who's doing this. If you go to plenty of the other tabletop role-playing game YouTubes and plenty of the other tabletop role-playing game sites are still releasing information now based upon news that was made available to us last night and chopping it up into little teeny chunks because there's just no way. There's just no way we can present this all to you in one continuous story. So that's what I've been doing today. I've been chopping it up into little teeny chunks and then giving you a break and then releasing the next chunk. We had the appetizer. We had the first course. We had the second course. We took a break. We had the third course. Now we have the fourth course and hopefully final course of our meal. Wizards of the Coast has kindly released the printing schedule for the next 2 years for all the products they have planned. Remember, they also informed us that there's so many books coming out that they can't keep up with it. The printers can't fulfill the orders. So we can probably expect more and more things to go digital first and then physical later on. In fact, the very first D&D book coming out is the Big B book, and it's digital first, physical later on. So here's the list of everything that's coming out so far that we know of. In August, we have Big B's Presents Glory of the Giants. We're going to go over that one in a second. In September, we have the Practically Complete Guide to Dragons. Wait, what's that? A brand new book? We'll get back to you on that one. Then we have the Foundelver and below Shattered Obelisk. This is the continuation of the Foundelver campaign, considered by many to be one of, if not the best 5e product that Wizards of the Coast has made for 5e. We still don't know anything about this other than it's supposedly going to answer the question about the Black Obelisk and contain some of the stuff that we've already seen from the previous Foundelver starter box sets. Part 1 being the Mines of Foundelver, Part 2 being Icespire. The third one apparently not connected now to the first two. And we know it's going to involve Vecna and intergalactic Cthulhu-like horror. But 5e intergalactic Cthulhu-like horror, so safe and cuddly and friendly. 5e intergalactic Cthulhu-like horror. I don't want to consume your souls and drive you mad. I want to work at the local Kmart and sell you stuff. And then finally, Sigil in the Outlands, which we thought was going to be how they're ending the year. Nope, it's not. We know that this might be a box set. It might include the same thing that Spelljammer did, where it'll have a little slipcase and you'll have 2 or 3 things in the slipcase. And it's apparently going to follow the same formula that Spelljammer followed, i.e. as little information as possible, and then have some controversy connected to it. So for those of you who are excited about Sigil coming out for 5e, maybe tone down. And finally, we end the year with the Book of Many Things, which will also include a brand new Deck of Many Things. Thus, all you Etsy artists have been making Deck of Many Things all these years. Well, screw you, because we're releasing a brand new one, and we're changing it completely. Ha, ha, ha. And that will end 2023 as of now. But, of course, they announced a new product, the Practically Complete Guide to Dragons. Surprise! We know we said we weren't going to make anything more. But we made something more. So, what is the Practically Complete Guide to Dragons? It's a 128-page hardcover coming out in August that details dragon anatomy, society, languages, hordes, magical errors, and more. This is a full-on lore book that has no game rules in it. No game rules in it whatsoever. So it's a coffee table book. It talks about dragons, but it doesn't give you rules. This is a continuation / reprint of the Practical Guide to Dragons that came out in 2006, the Practical Guide to Dragon Writing, and the Practical Guide to Dragon Magic that came out in 2007. This is a compilation of all those 3 books with brand new illustrations designed for younger wizards. And basically, yeah, it's a tabletop coffee book with stories and lore, but no actual rules. It doesn't actually tell you anything about dragons. No. I know what you're saying. But OGGM, they came out with a dragon book last year that told us all about dragon anatomy, society, language, hordes, magic lairs, and more, and gave us stats for tons of new different dragons. And it's one of the most well-received 5e products since Mines of Feldelver. I know you're asking yourself, why do we need this? I know you're saying to yourself, well, isn't this just the exact same thing, but without the stats and more art? So I have to spend like $80 for basically a tabletop coffee book based upon a book I already have that's a reprint of stuff that you made in 2006. Mind you, 5e didn't come out to 2014, and nothing before 2014 counts. Remember that. Nothing that Wizards of the Coast made before 2014 is canon, and it doesn't count because Jeremy Crawford said so until he said otherwise. This was made in 2006 and 2007. This is a reprint. It's $40. It contains no actual stats regarding anything. So yes, it is Fizbin's Guide to Dragons without any of the statistics and more art and more stories. Yay. Aren't we excited? No. I know we said we weren't going to make any more products for 5e. I know we said that this is all we're going to make for 2023. I know we said our printers can't make any more stuff. We lied. Pray we don't lie again. And now the other thing I want to bring up before we bring this nightmare to an end is we have a look at the covers. And details. So this is the cover of Big B's Presents Glory to the Giants. We've got a blue giant, another blue giant, and we've got Big B flying on his magic carpet. Then here's the super deluxe extra special version where we've got, I guess, an ice giant and a cloud giant and something looming behind them giant and Big B talking to them. And then here's the D&D Beyond copy of what it's going to look like in D&D Beyond. Bigsby Presents Glory of the Giants, Big Blue Giant, Big B riding on his magic carpet. Look at the big ears, Big B in the spell. That's definitely Big B. That's not Scanlan. Just because it looks like Scanlan's blue magic as seen in Vox Machina, and just like it looks like a gnome, it's not Scanlan. It's Big B. This is Big B. This is definitely Big B. We'll get back to that. Then we have the cover for Sigil in the Outlands. This tells me nothing. We've got Our Lady of Pain. This looks like the classic Sigil Planescape art. We've got the Phandelver and Below cover. Looks like a bunch of goblins up to no good. And then this is the huge money waste that is the Book of Many Things that comes with a brand new deck of cards, 80-page reference cards, 66 illustrated cards, everything you need to use a deck of many things in your game to totally ruin your game and to put all those poor Etsy artists who have been making deck of many things out of work. Now, why do I bring up Big B? I just because this is the first product we're going to see post everything that has happened. This is the first product we're going to see post D&D Direct. This is the first product we're going to see post the Creator Content Conference. This is everything we're going to see post Kyle Brink and his infamous statement. And on the cover of Big B's Presents Glory of the Giants, we have Big B flying on his magic carpet, casting a blue violet spell. This is a gnome. This is obviously a gnome or a halfling. All right. Just why? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Stick with me. Right. This is definitely not Scanlan. It's definitely not Scanlan. This is definitely not the blue spells that Scanlan's magic is portrayed like. in the 2 seasons of Vox Machina. No, this is Bigby, the gnome, on his magic carpet. Okay? Got that? Yeah. All right. Just make sure that you got that. Okay? Just remember Bigby, the gnome. Bigby. Gender, male. Race, human. Alignment, neutral. Class, wizard. Bigby was a legendary otherworldly wizard and hands-on spell inventor. He was known by several inhabitants of the realms, and a handful of his spells were used all over. Bigby was not born in the Forgotten Realms, but in Greyhawk. However, it is believed he has traveled to the Forgotten Realms. He invented many spells, including Bigby's Forceful Hand, Bigby's Imposing Hand, Bigby's Crushing Hand, Bigby's Grasping Hand, blah, blah, blah. He was a wizard. He had some magic items. Let's see. Does it say... here's his magic items: dagger, the genie bottle, ring of protection, ring of x-ray vision, ring of mind shielding, staff of power, wand of fire, wand of frost, wand of negation, bracers of defense, wing boots, boots of striding and springing, spell book. No, I see no mention of a flying carpet on here. Also, once again, Bigby, who is portrayed as a gnome in a flying carton on the cover of the book. Human. There he is. Then Bigby. There he is again, Bigby. Human. Human. Species, human. Ancestry, human. Heritage, human. Race, human. Why are you portraying him like a gnome on the cover of the book that was supposedly written by him? Could it have something to do with, I don't know, Scanlan, the gnome from Critical Role Vox Machina, who is infamous for his perversion of the Bigby's hand spell? So much so that it got renamed Scanlan's Hand, because Critical Role is trying to separate themselves from Wizards of the Coast. Scanlan, a gnome. Bigby, a human. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for continuing to embrace the long tradition of the hobby in such ways that newcomers to the game can appreciate it as much as those of us who have been playing it for 40 some odd years. Thank you for making us feel welcome, Wizards of the Coast, by continuing to release such things as portraying Bigby, a classic human wizard, as a gnome. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for surprising us with a brand new product that is nothing but 100% fluff. Literally a repeat of a product you already made, minus the stats, plus extra art. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for making my job so much easier, because what would I do if I didn't have you to talk about? Huh, Steve? What would he do? We would have nothing to do. We would just be playing Minecraft. Hopefully that is it. Let us just ruminate here as we sip our coffee and end this amazing meal of Wizards of the Coast news. From the beginning of the day, where we found out that 1D&D was never supposed to be called 1D&D, and the fact that they dedicated an entire year, multiple articles, multiple videos to 1D&D, that was never supposed to happen. We're just supposed to ignore that. It was never supposed to be called 1D&D, leading us to the mind-bending, breathtaking, life-taking news that they were going to raise their prices. Gasp. What? How dare they do something they said they were going to do? To our dessert of looking at their portrayal of a classic, archetypical, legendary character of D&D lore, Bigby the human wizard, and they portray him as a gnome because of Scanlan. I guess it's time for brandy on the veranda, Steve. So let's just mosey on out here and leave this steaming pile of information for the rest of the tabletop role-playing game world to ruminate on. Let me know what you're thinking about all this, please. If you're going to watch this series, watch it in small chunks, because it's a lot of information. And I have a feeling before the day is over, and definitely by this time tomorrow, we're going to have even more information, because it's at least 140 minutes, if not longer, of Crawford being Crawford. And thank you again, Jeremy, for informing us that it was never meant to be called 1D&D. Oops! Silly us! I have been the OG GM, and you have been my audience. Thank you very much for putting up with me. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about this ever again, you can let me know, but we know I'm going to talk about it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. Steve needs your money. And I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. See yas. Whew, that was exhausting.